So Omar, how did you get into dance?
Well, many of my early dance memories are actually of Karachi. One I mentioned to you earlier was, just a mehndi of my mama's mehndi when I was a kid. Then I just remembered there was another a fantastic memory of dance, which was in the current Marriott, then the Holiday Inn, there was a discotheque called
Juliana's, and they used to have the children's parties.
Yes.
I remember those.
And so in fact, I came in second or third or something the dance contest, and I was so irritated. I got 3 ice cream sundaes as a prize.
As a prize, as consolation basically.
But yeah, ever since I came in third, I was like, I'm going to just show those.
So you obviously studied dance then. Where did you study and what were your experiences there?
I began my sort of formal dance training in high school. I was maybe 13, 14 at the time.
Right.
There was this terrific co-curricular performing arts company that was attached to my high school. So it was called Student Television Arts Company.
Yeah.
And you auditioned in one of 6 disciplines. And the first discipline that I auditioned in and got in for was actually singing, vocalizing.
Okay.
So I did that in 10th grade. Then 11th grade I switched into acting, and then 12th grade I switched into dance. And so we did lots of fun workshops with professionals and Japanese Buto and Paul Taylor modern technique and all sorts of fun stuff.
Well, tell me something, Omar, you didn't grow up in Karachi, did you?
I didn't actually.
Where did you grow up?
Well, I was born in Karachi, and then when I was 2.5, my family migrated to Abu Dhabi, and so I grew up there until the age of 10, and then we shifted to the States. So then I grew up in New York beyond that.
Wow, a lot of cultural diversity there.
Yeah, a lot.
I'm asking this because did you, I can imagine a lot of men growing up in Pakistan facing a lot of prejudice, a lot of the whole Billy Elliot kind of thing. If they say, Mom, Dad, I want to be a dancer.
Yeah.
Did you face any of those issues, or?
I did, because I think I'm quite Pakistani. In fact, as much as I've lived different places, I think I do have kind of a homing sense, and my personality I think is pretty Pakistani in many ways, yeah. But that said, I think that I have, I've had it easier because number one, I'm a bit of a wild card. People know me in Pakistan, my family's here, etc., etc. But because, I'm sort of that guy who went abroad, wo New York se aaya, So there's a way in which I think the parameter, the bar that we set for Pakistanis is different than, wo
foreign returns.
Yeah, exactly.
I agree. I absolutely agree with you. So tell me something. You studied dance then in high school, and did you take it on any further? How did it sort of work after that?
Well, I did. When I was in high school and I was actually changing for one of the dance workshops, there was this vet whom I met just, in the hallway or whatever, and struck up a conversation with him, and he was once a professional dancer.
Right.
And I was just telling him, I really love dance. He scribbled 3 or 4 names of dance schools in Manhattan.
Okay.
And so right after graduating from high school, I actually set out, I took the train into Manhattan, and I went to Lincoln Center, and I had this tattered old schedule that had 4 names on it, and I went to the security guard. I said, take me to these people, please. And this, the security guard looked at me and started smiling and saying, what do you mean? Anyway, so he called somebody else, who called somebody else, and then finally, as it happens, one of them was behind Lincoln Center.
Okay.
So then I went into David Howard Dance Center, not knowing who David Howard was, not knowing anything. And then I walked up to the front desk and I said, where's David Howard? And the guy behind the desk said, and who might you be? I said, I'm Omar Rahim. Where's David Howard? And so it just happened that way. So then I was, invited for an audition class.
Okay.
And I went, I did the audition, and, they took me. And so then I became a scholarship student at the David Howard Dance Center, which, unbeknownst to me, was at the time one of the better sort of ballet academies in the world.
Okay.
I had no clue, actually.
So did you study ballet?
I did study ballet, in fact. That was my first formal training, and my base training is actually ballet.
So you can dance on your toes?
Well, it's a misconception that men dance on our toes. What happens
is... Oh, you have it easy, huh?
Not just in dance, we do have it easy. But in ballet, what happens is the men, what we do is we sort of go up onto our, we stretch through our arches. And then so if we're doing turns and there's a lot of jumping work, so you strengthen the foot muscles and the calf muscles and all that. But for women, what they do is they wear these toe shoes, which have
so
which is very intense because they've got a clump of wood and then some cotton wool all stitched into the satin slipper. So for them, when they go up on point, which is what it's called, they actually have to go, so it's the equivalent of going like this, crack. So you work through the arch, and then your toes are balancing on cotton wool, which is on top of a block of wood. That's what the women do. For us, it's much easier, in fact, because we actually can put our weight on sort of the top ball of our foot and our toes.
Okay, so ballet and any other forms of dance, or did you specialize just in ballet?
Well, ballet in terms of sort of traditional modern dance in Europe and the States, ballet is a very, very good base because it centers you with this coordination, there's a vocabulary that you learn, and a lot of choreographers, even contemporary choreographers, will use some of the conditioning, strength, placement, even movement patterns from ballet in modern choreography. Okay. So I actually then went to Wesleyan, and they had a very eclectic dance department. They had Bharatanatyam, they had Javanese, they had West African, different modern techniques, etc. So I did, quite a fun assortment of dance techniques there also. And then I did lots of dance festivals, and then I studied with contact improvisation masters, like all sorts of very eclectic fun things.